Welcome to Scorched Earth and a general reading for the sign of Libra, Sun, Moon or Ascendant for the last 2 weeks of January. I hope you are well. Using the Lost Forest Tarot for you today. If you celebrate Christmas, I hope that you had a nice break. And well, I think you know what I do with these readings now, so I'm not going to bother running through it again. Let's just get straight into it. So, could I have 3 cards, please, for Libra, Sun, Moon, Ascendant? Oh, hello. Fucking hell. Interesting. What a peculiar axis that you're sitting on here. So we have the 3 of Swords as your first card, but then your second card is the 10 of Cups, and that really did fly out. That was the one that has landed there. And then we have the 9 of Wands. So let me just have a look and see what you've got at the bottom. You've got the Ace of Cups at the bottom here. Now the 3 of Swords, or the 3 of Skies as it is in this deck, is given to be the card of heartbreak. It is the card of emotional pain, which is interesting because it's a Swords card. So there's kind of an intellectual bent to this. And the way that I see the 3 of Swords is it's the realization of something painful. You know, it's not the painful thing in itself, it's what lies behind it. When the mind finally catches up and realizes, that's when the heartbreak kicks in. Or sometimes it's an understanding that you have actually been heartbroken for a very long time. You know, it could be that you've been uncovering old wounds or something like that. And maybe you've been engaging in some shadow work actually, because I could see very well these 3 cards describing a state whereby that's happening, right? There's the uncovering of pain. There's an understanding that, you know, past historical pain has been in some ways informing your present and certainly informing your future. But through working with it, there's a transcendence going on. You know, it's allowed you to be more grateful for the things that you have, possibly. And then we have this 9 of Wands here too, which is a card of resilience. You know, maybe you haven't given yourself the credit for quite how resilient you are. That is possible. Let me shut this fucking window. But the other way of looking at this is that there could be a situation in your life that is extremely painful, you know, and it could be a relationship, it could be, you know, relationship with a friend or a family member, or it could be something entirely unrelated, right? It could be just that's one corner of your life that is sitting there and is really quite painful at the moment. But on the other side of the scale, what you have is something that is really balancing that out, right? And that would be a sense of community, a sense of belonging, a sense of family going on here. And with this 9 of Wands, this is you trying to find that path to walk between the two, you know, not getting too weighed down with the with whatever is painful at this point. But also, for some reason, I feel like there's investment here in the 3 of Swords that it's not easy for you to walk away from. And so you have to navigate between the two. Right? If you haven't seen the shadow work videos that I did, I'll link them at the end because they might prove to be quite valuable to you at the moment with what you are experiencing. Well, I don't usually do this for the mid-months, but I'm going to pull in a couple of extra cards just to see. Let me get some more information. So that's 3 of Swords. We've got the 2 of Wands and we have the 5 of Pentacles, and that makes a lot of sense, right? So there's this situation that is uncomfortable. You don't really know what to do with it, but there's a sense here of coming to a crossroads, decision that's needing to be made. But it feels like whatever happens, it's kind of a lose-lose situation for you in that regard, whatever that is. And that's possibly why, you know, you're feeling like you need to be resilient over this. You know, maybe it's a really close family member and it's not something that you can, you know, turn your back on or even would consider turning your back on, but you have to shoulder the burden of the fact that they are, you know, I don't know, not very receptive to your help or even just, you know, your presence. It's a card of not having your basic needs met here. And whilst I feel like it's something that you're mulling over and you feel like there's a decision that needs to be made here, it isn't quite as straightforward as that. It's not something that you can just walk away from. Whereas, I've got the Ten of Cups with the Four of Wands. There's a sense of family here. Transformed as well. We've got the Death card there. And I feel like this Death card actually helps you. It's helping you a lot with what this is over here. Like I said, the sense of balance. You know, things are pretty awful over here, but they're like really quite good over here. And that foundation of family, whether it is family, whatever feels like home to you, you know. So for some people that is friends, right? The friends are the family that, you know, you choose for yourself and all that kind of thing. There's a really strong foundation here, and that's allowing a transformation within you. I don't think it's ending this. I really don't think that for whatever reason you can end that exactly, but it is helping you negotiate it, and it is also helping you transform on quite a deep level. Personally, tell me about this Nine of Wands, please. Whoa. The Nine of Wands. Okay, well there you are, Queen of Swords and the Moon. Interesting. Six of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Obviously, it would be because you are working through something here at the moment. So whichever way it resonates for you, whether it was the first example of there being some sort of historic pain that has been coming up recently that you are kind of getting to grips with, and we could certainly see that being the case with the Moon appearing here too. It's not something that you are yet ready to take action on. We've got the King of Wands is in the reverse here, indicating a lack of movement, right? If he was that way up, it would be like all guns blazing, gung-ho forwards, but he's not, right? He's stepping back. You can't make any moves yet until you know exactly how you feel about all this side of the stuff that's going on. But the Moon is the things that are hidden from our awareness. You know, the sword suit is all very much about the conscious mind, intellectual rigor and all that kind of thing, right? It's the thinking part of you. But notice the order that these have come up in, right? So the thinking part of you is kind of oblivious to what's going on behind it here. Nevertheless, there are things that are creeping into your awareness, and at some point I would imagine that Queen of Swords and the Moon will actually change position, and you will be looking squarely at that which is hidden. As things stand at the moment, that isn't quite the case. It's like I said, it's just that kind of creeping awareness, but finding your balance with it is really, really important. And I just want to bring you back to the Shadow card. I don't even know if I told you it was there. The Ace of Cups. This is new love. And I don't think this is necessarily for a person. I think that this is new love for yourself, right? It's a sense of compassion and forgiveness that you have perhaps not applied to yourself or your situation for a very long time. And I think that you're starting to work out why you haven't done that. You know, and you could well be having, memories surfacing from the past. I mean, we are just about to go into Mercury retrograde. It's already in shadow, and it is in Aquarius, which is your sister air sign. So you might well find that these sorts of things come up for you, but it's not something that you need to dwell on for now. There will come a point, there's the King of Wands, it's actually in the upright at the bottom of the deck here. There will come a point where it's time for you to take action of some description, but that time isn't now because you're still kind of getting to grips with everything, you know. Let's have a look at the lesson here. What's the lesson here for Libra? Well, we've got one card, and that's the Hanged Man. Not surprised to see that. Now another card for Libra, please. No, I've got two. We've got the Moon again. And we've got the Judgment card in reverse. Oh, this is interesting. There. Let's get one more. So that's all major arcana. 5 of Wands in reverse. Oh, with the Strength card at the bottom of the deck. That's 3 Leo cards you've had in your reading in quick succession. Like 2 King of Wands and a Strength card. This is about personal growth. This is about your own internal strength, right? And I feel like it's being challenged at the moment. It's not all bad. Like I said, we've got that 10 of Cups and the 4 of Wands there, and that is helping you transform. There is something about this situation which is kind of carrying you along with it. And maybe it's giving you the space to be able to objectively consider this 3 of Swords situation and 5 of Pentacles and what it means to you here. But you are being counselled very much not to take action yet at this point, right? The Hanged Man is a change of perspective, and I think that this is necessary for you anyway. Right? And I think that the balance will finally come when your perspective shifts just a little bit. It's Pisces card, that one. But we have the Moon and we've got Judgment in reverse. Now, this is quite interesting because this suggests that there are things to be revealed, right? It says there are things that are hidden. Again, second time it's appeared here in your reading. It's a Cancer card. But this Judgment card, it can sometimes talk about the past, like the resurrection of the past. And I think you don't need to worry about ghosts from the past coming to spook you, you know, show you their face or anything. I feel like it's a far more reflective and far more internal and emotional perspective shift that's coming on. I don't think that you are being presented with people that you're going to have to deal with that you would rather not. But the fact that the Judgment card is in reverse, and the other meaning of judgment is you know, making a judgment on someone. Actually, it can also be, you know, having to make a big decision, and you are being counselled not to do that at the moment. You know, but if we go back to the Judgment interpretation here, what we've got with the Hanged Man is wait. Suspend yourself, right? Don't try and don't try and take any action yet, because there are things yet to be revealed. And I think it's important for you that you get yourself to a place where you are able to hear those things without judgment. This is why it's in the reverse. When it's time for these things to come out, they will, and they need to have an objective ear, you know, which means you not responding to triggers that you might have in the past, right? It's listening with a non-judgmental, compassionate and forgiving ear. It doesn't mean what is coming to you or what is going to be revealed to you is necessarily right, particularly if it's at the hands of another person, but it is an opportunity for you to see yourself differently, from a different angle. And that seems to be what is necessary here for you to change your perspective slightly. The last card that we've got is the 5 of Wands, which is a card of conflict. It's a card of falling out with people, and you know, in different combinations it can be quite a dangerous and aggressive card. In the Lost Forest, it's a volcano, right? And that thing's just about to blow. It is possible, I think, that over the next couple of weeks there could be situations where your Libran sharp tongue could get away with you, you know, get the better of you a little bit, right? And particularly if it's touching, you know, sort of raw meat underneath, you know, really firing off your triggers. But it came up in the reverse for you. Like, this is not a time to burn your bridges. It's not a time to explode in a big volcanic eruption of your own unresolved trauma. I feel like there's an opportunity to bring peace to this situation here, whatever this 3 of Swords is. We have Strength here, Strength followed by the 4 of Wands there. It's an opportunity for you to grow, and it's an opportunity for you to really set down a firm foundation. I don't want to get your hopes up if some of you are waiting to hear from someone that you've fallen out with. It isn't necessarily that kind of thing, because the foundation could well be laid without this person, right? But it's important for you moving forwards in the next few weeks are going to be quite illuminating for you. I'm just looking at the amount of major arcana that we've got on the table here, and like I said, the moon appears twice, so that message is really being drummed home, like you don't have all of the information yet. So suspend judgment. Do not judge a situation on how you think it is right now, because there is more information to come. And I think there are opportunities to bring peace to something that's been perhaps a little fractious for a while. So let's get you some advice. We've got the 8 of Swords. Ooh, yeah. Here's another Pisces card. We've got the Knight of Cups at the bottom of the deck. That's the card of Pisces there. It is about emotional messages, right? It is often, you know, messages of love. It's about giving your cup to someone else and possibly, you know, allowing someone to give their cup to you. Not necessarily to get together as partners or anything like that, but more in a sense of getting yourself to a place where, however messy and illogical somebody else's emotions are, recognizing that they are valid. I feel like some of your emotions are a little bit messy and illogical at the moment, but you're working on it, right? And I feel to some degree that you are actually probably leagues ahead of this other person that you are dealing with. Okay, it's understanding that they are going to take their time to get to where you are, and the best thing that you can do, the most loving thing that you can do, is give them the space to do that without responding to anything that you feel wounds you in some way. Like, I'm going to link the shadow readings at the end here, the shadow videos. It's all about the shadow and how it works, because I feel like you're in a state of transition at the moment. I feel like you want to do things differently. And I think perhaps for the first time you're open to a different way of doing things, and you're open to the idea of analysing your behaviour without using it as a stick to beat yourself with moving forwards. Now, like I said, there's no suggestion to me here that the person, that you've done somebody really wrong, and that all of their righteous indignation is correctly, you know, fired at you and in your direction. No, rather, this is an opportunity for growth here for you. And there's an opportunity for you to extend compassion and forgiveness and grow personally as a result, if you pay heed to that. You know, we've got the 8 of Swords there, which is a card of mental restriction. Okay? And that seems to be the thing that is shifting in you. There have been cases in the past where you have been mentally restricted. It's okay to admit that. It's not a problem. You know, we all grow, we all change. But other people do too. You know, I don't know if I'm explaining this very well, but it's kind of like a lump of something that I'm being given here that I'm trying to sort of pull apart slightly. We've got the 7 of Pentacles appearing in the reverse. Like, you may not know what to do to fix this situation at the moment, and that's okay. It's absolutely okay, because I don't think that you're supposed to. You're supposed to be working on yourself at this point, because there will come a point where whatever the 7 of Pentacles represents, and this is usually a situation that is not exactly fucked, but it's difficult, it's challenging, and there's something a bit wrong with it. You know, when it comes, because this is in the reverse here, you will know how to move forward. You don't need all the answers ahead of time, because if you were trying to get all the answers ahead of time, what you're doing is prejudging the situation, and that's the exact opposite of what you're being asked to do at this point. But here's this other Pisces card of the High Priestess. It's actually the mystic in this deck, right? There's a lot of very strong Piscean energy working here on you. And it feels like you're being opened up to new ways of emotionally engaging with people, but also to getting new layers of emotional engagement available to you. You know, understanding yourself from perhaps more of a compassionate angle. But whichever way it happens, you know, the High Priestess is guided by intuition. The other meaning for the moon is also intuition here. It's like, give your intuition an opportunity to speak. step your mind down and don't let it get in the way of what is trying to unravel here, because I think that you might have far more answers to the questions that you have if you suspend judgment and suspend action, suspend everything, and just let it unfold in front of you. I hope that makes sense. Right. Thank you again for your patience with me. I have my immense gratitude for giving me the space to do the readings, the shadow things that I needed to do. I literally had, I couldn't do anything else until I'd had them, until I got them done. So thank you for that. Know that I love you all very, very much, and I will see you soon.